Oh, nice to see you, Nathan. Really nice to see you at Rewind, because we haven't seen you here for a while.
No, I don't think I've come down that hill and seen this festival site in about 10 years.
No.
So, yeah, it is nice to be back, yeah.
It's such a lovely festival. It's got a really nice vibe, everyone dressing up. Are you looking forward to going on stage?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I did Rewind Scotland and Rewind North, so this is the final one of the season. Feels like the end of the summer today.
Don't say that.
Well, I know it's sad, but next year comes around like that, you know. So, yeah, I mean, I was in Norwich yesterday with some of the other artists, and so yeah, it's funny. Like, hi, hit the farm again. Hi, how you guys? How you doing? You know, and it's all quite funny. You get to know them. They brew their own beer.
Yeah, no, we know.
Yeah, so you know, you get up talking about silly things like that.
It must be so nice to. You've probably got more of a camaraderie now with them than you had back in the day. Would you say that?
Well, yeah, because you never used to see each other as much. You know, you'd be out doing your promotion, unless you really did Top of the Pops on the same day or whatever. You know, but now we're always in the middle of a field or backstage somewhere. So I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've seen Toya this summer. You know?
Well,
she's lovely as well. Sometimes in Butlins I've found like little notes from her saying, "Have a lovely show, darling. Love you." You know, she's so lovely. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Going back to Top of the Pops, you mentioned, I was in the audience and saw you perform The Harder I Try with Brother Beyond all that time ago.
Wow.
It's such a small studio to what people imagine, isn't it? And the camera crews are whizzing by, wires everywhere.
I was just explaining to a gentleman just then that when I first did Top of the Pops, you were there.
I was there.
And there was only 50 people, wasn't there?
I know.
50 audience members. That was the limit. And they'd pack them around the camera and sort of stage. And then they'd shove you to the next stage. And I'm right, remember, there's like 3 stages, wasn't there? That's it. And you just heard these people around. It's brilliant the way they did it and make it look like much bigger than it was.
What was that like for you? Because it's such an iconic show to actually be on there. What was that moment like?
Yeah, you kind of thought, I've done it, I've made it. I think when I was, a teenager or 14, 15, I used to see bands watching Top of the Pops thinking, I really want to be on that show. And in fact, I remember watching, I think it was Bauhaus, and went, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be on there. Sort of saying it to myself, almost like willing it to happen, you know.
Oh, it's amazing. Now, your dad, I saw something you posted of him singing at Columbia Road Market. Market I know very well because I'm from that area.
Okay.
Incredible voice. Has he inspired you to sing?
The family's quite musical. My niece is a fantastic singer. I used to be in a band with my older sister, and in fact she was probably the inspiration. So Tida, who was 3 years older than me, she was in this band, and I would give her a lift to her band practice. And one day the rest of the band said, why don't you get up with your sister and jam? And then when I did, they went, hey, you two are good together, like. And then, so that was the Palm Tree Club, and so I was in that for about 3 years until I got spotted and stolen for Brother Beyond.
Oh wow! And so she must be really proud of you, having been there at the beginning with you, and then to see you do all that you do.
Yeah, I felt a bit bad leaving the band, but at the time she got it. She knew that I wanted to be in pop, and they kind of weren't pop. And but and of course now. My dad's retired, he's 83, and you can see him at Columbia Road Market every Sunday.
Such a fantastic thing.
And people love him. He wears his suit and hat and he does swing stuff, Sinatra. It's very right for there.
You should join him sometime.
Oh, I was his roadie about 4 weeks ago.
Oh, were you?
Carried his gear, sat there, watching him, and
that's fantastic.
It's like, he's got a card reader. He loves it. They tap his card for £3, and he's like...
How things change, card readers now.
Yeah.
So you've had a busy year. You've been to lots of festivals. You've been in Marseille, haven't you? Did you do?
Well, my other band, Worlds Apart, all our work is in France or Germany. So I've had gigs in France, and I've got a couple of shows in Germany next month with them. So it's lovely. It's lovely to have that sort of variety, and also because anything with Brother Beyond, it's me on my own, because the rest of the guys don't want to do it. They've got their other lives. it's nice to work with the band members.
Yeah, I
Cal
can
and
imagine.
Steve from
Yeah.
Worlds Apart. So, you know, I like that.
Would Brother Beyond never get back together, do you think?
No, I
No?
really don't think. I mean, I contacted Steve, the drummer,
Yeah.
and said, "Oh, would you do a TV show with me, like a game show thing?" And he was like, "No." He's
just
very credible
really-
after
yeah.
playing for Jeff Beck and Duran Duran. He's like, "No, that doesn't work for me."
So what else have you got coming up this year?
Oh God, I am working every weekend. I know. So as you come out of summer,
Yeah, then
it's Butlins and
Yeah.
you know.
you're so good with the audience. I mean, whenever we've seen you and we've seen you in VIP and everything, I mean, you don't mind getting up close and personal with them all, and they just love you for it.
They get up close and personal with me.
They-
I just perform.
I know.
You know.
I know.
But yeah, no,
you're lovely with
I
your
like
bands. You're
intimate
lovely-
gigs.
Yeah.
This isn't. This is
No.
totally the opposite end of
Oh.
that. But I'm quite. I really enjoy
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
Finally, just a couple of quick questions.
Yeah.
We've asked everybody what was the first vinyl 7-inch that they bought.
I think it was Susie Quattro.
Ah.
Is it Devilgate Drive?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. and then also, did you have a teenage crush, or did you have any heroes up on your bedroom walls?
I don't know. Who did I really like?
Who did you?
Um,
who inspired you then as a musician?
Well, it was Wham and George Michael.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wham and George Michael. That's why I kind of like doing the Wham tunes
Yeah.
in my gigs, because George gave us so much, you know,
I know.
in pop and the 80s. So yeah, that and Madonna, and I got to meet both of them. So
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
What
great.
were they like? What was George Michael like?
George very briefly, just a couple of actually clubs and things, you know.
Yeah.
Madonna, I actually got to meet her after the Blonde Ambition
Oh,
tour backstage. You
Yeah.
know? So her brother introduced us, and she was like, "So, what did you learn?" I was like, she was very clever because she tests people.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Sm-
learned.
yeah.
That's what I learned. She's like, "Let's see how sharp you are." She's smart. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to see her on tour this time round?
No, it's too expensive.
Oh, no, it really.
It really is. It's like,
And you've already met her. You've
yeah,
seen her.
Blonde
before.
Ambition, you can't
Yeah.
beat that. So I
Oh.
don't really want to go now.
No.
Plus, it's like a busman's holiday. Sorry, another gig.
Oh well, we love it. We don't get fed up with it, do we, Sue? We can't wait to see you up there today. Thank
Great,
you.
thank you.
Really nice to meet you.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah.
35 years after. Top of the pops together.
I know.